Sophie, Countess of Wessex and the Queen publicly show signs of how well they get on in private, according to a royal body language expert. Prince Edward and Sophie have been in the spotlight more than usual in recent weeks as they have taken on more and more senior duties after the departure of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle from the royal family earlier this year. With the Queen herself moving to virtual engagements, and releasing a brand new picture of herself and Prince Philip on Instagram this week, the royal family have also made sure they are as hard-working as ever during lockdown. However, when the royals are back to usual making their public appearances together, an interesting pair for royal watchers to keep an eye on are Her Majesty and Sophie, who show signs of getting on extraordinarily well, according to an expert. Podcast Pod Save the Queen is hosted by Ann Gripper and features Daily Mirror royal editor Russell Myers. In an episode this week, the podcast heard from body language expert Judy James, who decoded the relationship between Sophie and the Queen. James said, "What I think has been very obvious, in clips, is that Sophie seems to get on extraordinarily well with the Queen. I think we forget that Sophie is the middle generation. Sophie is the only royal bride of that generation that had any Teflon about her. She is the only one that stuck. Windsor men are notoriously difficult to be married to. But, I think you find with Sophie she's managed to do it, with perhaps one of the most difficult sons as well. I think the Queen appreciates that, and I think it's raised her points in the royal family." The expert also looked at a royal who is not so well known for showing his emotions in public, the Duke of Edinburgh. James added, "Sophie also seems to get on well with Prince Philip. He, clearly, has a history of being maybe as intimidating as Anne, maybe a bit more. But the pictures and the body language I've seen between him and Sophie, she just seems completely relaxed. She has one eyebrow raised like don't try it on with me. It seems that Edward is standing there with his hands behind his back looking sheepish most of the time. But she is out there at the front getting on with quite difficult royal roles in a very subtle way that seems to work."